Hey everybody, it's me Stacey here at Scrapbooking Made Simple with a YouTube that I was really hoping I wouldn't be doing. So, when I was in 3rd or 4th grade, I was struggling in school. I always struggled in school. I was never the most model student. So, and you have to understand, I'm 47 years old, and so I was really having a hard time in school. So they had me tested, which is, code word for does she need special help? What is going on here? And so my elementary school, Cedar Creek Elementary School, and I could almost see it from where I'm sitting, put me through a battery of tests. And of course I didn't know what was going on. I was young and they just gave me tests and I took them and it turns out that I wasn't necessarily struggling, but 1, I have dyslexia, and 2, I was bored. And my father asked, well, what are you going to do for her? And the school said, nothing. There's not much we can do for her. This was a time when there weren't the policies that there are today to help kids who need extra help or who have a learning disability or who are incredibly bright and bored in their class. There wasn't that thought process when I was in elementary school. We still took naps and had in kindergarten and had graham crackers and milk. And of course, anybody who has a child or a grandchild in kindergarten knows that's not what it's like these days. So after I was tested and they told my dad and my mom that I wasn't necessarily slow, which was a word they used then, but I had dyslexia and that I was bored, I was a little bit too smart for the class and they weren't going to do anything. So my dad didn't take that answer well. And at a time where you don't pull your children out of school, my dad pulled me out of school. There was no homeschooling back then. My dad pulled me out of school. And for quite some time, he became my teacher. And he had tutors come in because if they weren't going to help me, he and my mom were going to help me. And it was certainly not easy. My dad was not an easy man. High expectations. And 100% every time. Not in a grade, in an effort. You give 100% every time. So he kept me home for quite some time, doing studies at home, and this made a big ruckus out here because nobody did that. And my dad said, do something about it. And they didn't. So he got me caught up. I was struggling with I had to learn differently. I'm a sight reader. I don't spell or sound, I can't sound things out as well. I learn the word and I memorize the word, and that's how I know the word. And I mean, I have my coping skills, but my dad got me not only up to where I was supposed to be, but far past where they thought I ever could be. And I think it was at that moment, as tough as it was, because he used to get so frustrated with me and say, Stacey, go walk around the dining room table. And I think that was his way of, okay, he needs a breath, not me. But if I went and I left where we were studying at his desk and I went and I walked around the dining room table, that gave him enough time to just calm down and start again with me. And I'm sure that's where he saw what it is that I could be. And I'm sure that's where he started thinking what it is he hoped I would be. I am my father's daughter, there's no question about it. All of his good things and all the things that are maybe not the best, but make us who we are. And so last night at about 10 p.m., he passed on I was there. I was holding his hand. I talked to him and I told him that I loved him. And I told him that Mom was going to be fine. She was going to be just fine. And that my brothers and sisters, even though I don't know them well, they're going to be fine too. That he had done his job. He had raised 4 children, 4 productive children, and had wonderful, productive grandchildren. And that if he was tired, it was okay to go because he did his job. And his mom and his dad and my Uncle Dean and now my Uncle Harvey, they're all waiting for him. And he just slipped away. My relationship with my dad has never been easy. If you have a child who is exactly like you, then you know it can be a struggle. But there's this song. It's kind of old, but it says, one of the lyrics is, the leader of the band is tired and his eyes are growing old, but his blood runs through my instrument and his song is in my soul. My life has been a poor attempt to imitate the man. I'm just a living legacy of the leader of the band. And that's what I am. I am my father's living legacy. And I told him I know every story he's ever told. And I know the ones that are true and the ones that are embellished. The stories always got more as he got older. And that I will promise to tell all of his stories to my kids. And he went home where he needed to be. I need to thank everybody who has emailed, who has called, who has posted, who has left comments, who has sent cards. Thank you. I don't have a big family, and it is your support and your encouragement which has kept me slightly sane while I manage my mom and dealing with all of this and saying goodbye to my dad. But as his living legacy, I will go on, and I will make him proud. And I will be everything he saw in that 4th grade little girl who couldn't get her multiplication tables right. I will do that. Oh. So thank you. Thank you for praying for him. Thank you for praying for me and my family. And we will continue. All right, it's Miss Stacey. I love you all, really I do. Thank you so much. Bye, Dad.